Have you ever wished so hard it almost hurt? Have you tried everything, affirmations, visualizations, prayers, and still nothing changed? Maybe you've followed all the steps, but something still seems missing. And that's precisely what almost no one tells you. There's a simple, almost invisible technique that Neville taught subtly, but which has the power to change absolutely everything in your reality. Right now. Yes, right now. Not tomorrow. Not a month from now. Because manifestation isn't about time. It's about your internal state. And when you master this state, reality has no choice. It obeys. Today, you'll learn this technique that many ignore because it seems too obvious. But in this simplicity lies the secret to transformation. Most skip this step because it seems too small, but that's where the mistake lies. Because what truly manifests isn't the image you see with your eyes closed, it's what you feel while you see it. Neville called this living the end. And that's no metaphor. It's about feeling with your whole body that what you desire has already happened. It's not about asking, nor about wanting. It's about accepting that it's already yours. What I'm going to show you now isn't just another YouTube trick. It's a practical, accessible, and powerful revelation. And best of all, you can apply it today, before bed. There's only one prerequisite: being willing to truly feel it. Letting your mind control less and allowing your emotional body to guide the experience. If you keep watching, you'll understand what Neville meant when he said, "You don't attract what you desire. You attract what you are." And this technique, which almost no one explains to you properly, will make you become what you desire. The technique I'm about to reveal to you begins with something Neville mentioned repeatedly, but which most haven't fully understood: SATS, state akin to sleep. This sleep-like state is the master key to opening the door between the visible and invisible worlds. This is where you plant your desire in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind, where it germinates without resistance. SATS is not hypnosis. It's not meditation. It's that exact moment when you're about to fall asleep, but are still conscious enough to imagine. Your body begins to shut down, but your mind still obeys. It's at this subtle point, so easy to ignore, that you reprogram your reality. Neville said, "It is at this threshold between wakefulness and sleep that the invisible world becomes real. Because in this state, the critical mind sleeps. And when it sleeps, you can finally access the vault where everything is created, your subconscious." Most people visualize throughout the day, with 1,000 thoughts racing through their minds, worries, judgments, and that's why nothing happens. But in SATS, you're vulnerable, and that vulnerability is power. It's in this space between worlds that you imagine a short, symbolic scene and live it as if it were already yours. It's not about imagining 1,000 things. It's about experiencing the end of a single thing. A gesture, a phrase, a touch. Something simple, but charged with emotional meaning. For example, being hugged by someone who says, "Congratulations." This already implies that the wish has been fulfilled. You don't need to see the how. You just need to feel the already is. This technique seems small, but it's one of Neville's most powerful. And almost no one practices it correctly. In the next step, I'll guide you through the precise construction of this symbolic scene and show you how to activate it in your emotional body. Now that you understand the power of SATS, it's time to apply it. And here's what almost no one teaches you. You don't need to visualize a long story, nor imagine the desire coming. The secret is to live the ending, a single, symbolic, short, intense, and emotionally true scene. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Feel your body relax as if you were about to fall asleep. This is your portal. Now choose a desire. Just one. Specific. Not, I want to be happy. That's vague. Tell yourself firmly, I want to be in a loving relationship. I want to live in the place of my dreams. I want to prosper in my work. Now ask yourself, what would the ending be like if it had already happened? Not the path. The end. Just the end. Imagine, for example, receiving a tight hug from your loved one, or handing someone the keys to your new house and saying, I did it. Or even looking at your phone screen with the bank statement you wanted. It doesn't have to be cinematic. It has to be real to you. And here comes the key point. Feel it. Your body needs to react. Your heart beats differently. Your eyes might fill with tears. True emotion, even if only for a few seconds, is what imprints the new reality on your subconscious. Repeat the scene 3, 4, 5 times. Not with anxiety, with gratitude, as if reliving a cherished moment. You're not trying to force the universe. You're accepting what is already yours. And if your mind tries to doubt, just return to the feeling. Because feeling is the language of creation. Visualizing without feeling is like sending a letter without an address. But when you feel it, you deliver it straight to the source. This is the practice that can turn your life upside down, if you're willing to surrender for a few minutes. Every night. Now you might be asking yourself, but how can something so simple transform my reality? The answer lies in a principle Neville knew all too well. The subconscious doesn't distinguish between imagination and reality. And modern neuroscience proves this. When you imagine something with genuine emotion, your brain activates the same areas that would be activated if it were actually happening. This means that when you experience a scene as real, your nervous system begins to respond as if it were true. And it begins to seek, create, accept, and move toward that new reality. Neville said, it's not about attracting what you want, but about becoming who you already are. And you become that when you feel you already are. The feeling imprints itself on the subconscious. And the subconscious silently shapes the people, circumstances, and events around you to reflect what you've experienced internally. This is much more than positive thinking. It's reprogramming your internal structure. The world doesn't change because you asked it to. The world changes because you changed. Most people try to manifest without altering their emotional state. They just think, but they continue to feel scarcity, doubt, and anxiety. The universe doesn't respond to your stray thoughts. It responds to the coherent vibration between what you think, feel, and believe. And this coherence only happens in sats, when thought and feeling unite in the silence of near sleep. It is there that the seed is planted with faith, and without conscious effort, the invisible begins to organize itself. You don't need to know how it will happen. You just need to accept the end, live the end now, and allow the rest to happen for you. Many people hear this technique and think, this sounds too good to be true. But what I'm going to tell you now isn't theory, it's experience. It's the silent transformation that happens when you let go of effort and immerse yourself in feeling. Neville told the real-life story of a man who wanted to bring his family back from the island of Barbados. He didn't have the money, the connections, or the means, but he had the technique. Every night before bed, he visualized being in New York with his family. He smelled the apartment, the sound of the city, their presence, and within a few weeks, without knowing how it all happened, he didn't force it. He became what he desired. That's the key. You can apply this now, and you'll see the signs begin to move. But first, it's important to overcome the objections that sabotage your manifestation. But I can't visualize it clearly. You don't need perfect images. What matters is the feeling. The image may be fuzzy, but the heart knows when something is real. What if I do everything right and it still doesn't happen? There's no such thing as doing everything right, like an equation. There's surrender. There's frequency. If you experience the end with true emotion, the invisible begins to work in your favor, even if you don't see it right away. But that doesn't work for me. It does. But maybe you're trying with anxiety, not certainty. Neville said, "The secret is the feeling of it already happening, and that can't be forced, it can be allowed." This is the turning point. When you stop looking outside for signs and start living inside as if everything were already resolved, the mirror of reality will have no choice. It will reflect what you are. Now that you know the technique, you need to make a silent but powerful decision. Will you continue seeking answers outside, or will you finally look within and embrace what is already yours? Because the truth is simple, yet uncomfortable. You already have everything. What's missing isn't desire. It's not visualization. It's the willingness to feel as if you've already accomplished it, even if external reality says otherwise. This is the courage few have. The courage to feel without proof. To live the end, even when everything still seems like a beginning. But pay attention, manifestation doesn't happen when you want it so much. It happens when you rest in the knowing that it already is. When you enter Sats with a light heart, without anxiety, and simply feel that simple, brief, definitive scene happening now. This technique, which almost no one teaches you clearly, has a power that can't be explained. It can only be experienced. So, tonight, lie down and enter your Sats. Choose your scene. Feel it as if it were now. Breathe into it. Trust the silence. Do this for 7 nights. Don't wait for signs. Just feel. And then watch. Watch the world take shape. Watch the doors open. Not because you forced it, but because you finally aligned. If this message touched something within you, share it with someone who needs a reminder of their power. Leave a comment. What's the final scene you'll experience tonight? Sign up to receive more practices that reveal what only Neville understood about the invisible. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you accept as truth. And your truth can begin today.